I'm a total Sonic the Hedgehog fan, much like everyone else. I like the newer games, but I don't mind playing the classic games. I don't think I've ever played a glitchy or hacked Sonic game before, so I don't think I want to play any after the experience I had. It started on a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Sonic Unleashed until I noticed out of my peripheral vision that the mailman had put something eyes. They were pitch black, and two glowing red dots staring right at me, and his smile stretched wider to the edges of his face. It was the most disturbing image I've ever saw. So, I figured it was just a glitch, and I'd forget about it. What freaked me out more was the character select. It showed only Tails and Knuckles into my surprise, Dr. Robotnik. Now, I'm sure something was up. I mean, how could you play as Dr. Robotnik in a classic Sonic game, for crying out loud? That's when I realized it wasn't a glitched game, it was a hacked game. Yeah, it definitely looked hacked. Well, no shit. Seriously, I gotta break here. This story is so bad. But, the smart gamer I wasn't scared. I told myself it was just a hacked game, and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, shaking off the creeped off feeling, I picked file 1 and chose Tails. I selected and got started. The game froze for about 5 seconds, and I heard the awful, creepy, pixelated laugh. It sounded a lot like the Kefka guy from Final Fantasy before cutting to black. The only text I seen for the simple level title card was Hill, Act 1. Then it faded into the level. Tails was in Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1. The music was different though. It sounded like a peaceful melody in reverse. Anyway, I started playing, and Tails started running like any classic Sonic game. Though it was odd, Tails was running around along a level that was nothing, flat ground. For a few seconds, trees, and for 5 minutes, it was peaceful music started to lower and deepen its tones. As I kept it moving, I saw more dead animals. Tails moved past them, looking more and more worried as the music lowers. He moves past more dead animals. I was shocked at how they were all dead. Man, I wonder if there's any dead animals around here. Jeez. I want to skip around this story because, my God, it's it's so bad and repetitive.
After a minute passed, the music stopped as Tails was running up a hill, and it stopped. It wasn't until I saw why. Sonic was on the other side of the screen, his back to Tails, and with his eyes closed. Tails looked happy to see Sonic, but his smile faltered, obviously noting something was off with Sonic. I walked slowly toward Sonic. I noticed I wasn't even moving the keyboard to make him move, so this had to have been some kind of cutscene. Suddenly, I began to have a feeling of dread as Tails walked closer to Sonic to get his attention. I felt that Tails was in danger, something bad was going to happen. I heard a faint static growing louder as Tails grew inches away from Sonic. He went to stick out his hand to touch him, but then stopped. That foreboding feeling in my gut was growing stronger, and I felt the urge to tell Tails to get away from Sonic as the static grew louder. Suddenly, for a split second, I saw Sonic's eyes wide open. They were black, and those red glowing dots, just like in the title screen, though it wasn't a smile. When that happened, the screen turned to black, and the sound of static was off. It stayed for about 7 seconds before a message appearing, saying,
Hello, do you want to play with me? I was keeped out and didn't want to continue the game, but curiosity got the better of me. I was taken to a different level, the title saying, Hide and Seek. This time, I was at Angel Island from Sonic 3, but everything looked on fire. Tails looked scared out of his wits. He actually looked at me, making frantic gestures, as if he was breaking the fourth wall, trying to tell me to get him out of there. Suddenly, I heard that creepy laugh again, that awful Kefka laugh. Right after 10 seconds had passed, I helped Tails run throughout the forest, and I saw flashes of Sonic popping everywhere in the background with those black and red eyes. The music has changed to the suspenseful drowning jingle you hear when Sonic's drowning. I see Sonic behind Tails slowly gaining on him. He was flying. Sonic wasn't running, he was actually flying. Suddenly, Tails tripped. The music stopped and Sonic vanished. Tails lied there and started crying for 15 seconds. The scene was rather upsetting. I kinda teared up myself. Then Sonic appeared right in front of Tails. Tails looked up in horror. Blood started to come down to blacken the eyes of Sonic the Hedgehog as he slowly grinned at the horrified fox. I could do nothing but watch. Just a split second, Sonic lunged right at Tails before the screen went to black, and there was nothing but a loud, screeching noise that lasted about 5 seconds. Then the screen returned, only said, Too slow, want to try again, and then came in with the god-awful Kefka laugh. I was shocked. Did Sonic murder Tails? No, he couldn't have. He's supposed to be Sonic's best friend, right? Why would Sonic do that to him? I shook off my shock, trying to ignore it, and next I picked Knuckles the Echidna. The laugh came again, and then cut to another 10 seconds. The level select revealing, "You can't run." I was really freaked out by now. I couldn't really tell if this was a hack or glitch or some kind of twisted joke. All of the above. This is ass. I'm sorry. God damn. Of course it's a hacked Sonic game because it's not what you would expect out of Sonic. Oh, God, I hate this. I hate this so much. The next level looked different. It looked like the ground was Scrap Brain Zone, but the sky looked like the main menu. The reddish, dark clouds in the sky. It really creeped me out. Most of all, what creeped me out most is it sounded like the music sounded like Gygas's theme from Earthbound. Goddamn, so stupid. I also noticed Knuckles looked afraid, like Tails did, but much more rather unnerved. He also broke the fourth wall just like Tails, as he looked over to the side as if saying, "You sure you want to go on over there?" He ran down the straight pathway of the dark level. Flickers of red static a couple times, and a maddening laugh came in. After a few seconds, I noticed several bloodstains on the ground. I felt a growing sense of fear again, thinking something horrible might happen to Knuckles. He looked nauseated as I walked through the bloodstained road and kept him going. Suddenly, Knuckles ran into Sonic, who appeared right in front of him with those dark black and red eyes. When the static vanished, it showed nothing but a black screen and text saying, "Found you." I was really scared now. Sonic found Knuckles already? What was going on? Well, no dice, the fastest hedgehog around, you little shit. Anyway, red static came again, and Knuckles looked in a panic. Sonic was nowhere to be found, and then a high-pitched squeal from Silent Hill. Why? What? Was this some kind of boss fight with Sonic? God, I hope not, honestly. Suddenly, Sonic appeared right in front of Knuckles. But every time I went to go punch him with Knuckles, Sonic disappeared in a puff of black smoke. Knuckles was panicking more, as I felt like I was going crazy. Sonic was practically playing with us. He was sick, twisted little game with Knuckles. And Knuckles. And Knuckles. And Knuckles. Have you ever played the hit game Sonic and Knuckles? It's way better than this shit. Another cut. Knuckles fell to his knees and started sobbing. He felt like this was agony. Sonic was driving us both crazy. Even though he literally just like popped in and out of existence. Like, just like, it's so stupid. It's so dumb. I'm gonna leave this here. Sonic kills everybody. Yay. I'm not gonna finish this garbage. Damn.